right before I started this video, I came across a video by a gentleman. I don't know if it's going to play or not, but he said, you can't lose when it's your time to win. God chooses when it's your time to win. Not a guru, not a life coach, not the system, not the hierarchy. And that's truth. That's just truth. Seen as it's a win or lose thing, I don't think so. I don't believe so. I think just another day, breath in your lungs, water to drink, food to eat, a vehicle to drive, right? A roof over your head. That is a solid win. That's a solid win. There's a lot of people that don't even have that. Don't even have that. And so to me, that would be a win. If we want to go win for win, you know what I mean? It's just all about your perspective, I believe. Your perspective of what's going to solidify you a win. Because at the end of the day, if you allow your perspective to take you down certain roads, you're going to stay in limbo. You're going to stay in limbo. Because you're always going to be thinking the worst. You're always going to be thinking that you're not good enough. You still have more to fulfill. You're going to think that you're not winning, seen as it's a win or a lose. And it's really just, it's all about your perspective. It truly is. And it is in God's timing, divine's timing. You got to get right with your heart. You got to get right with your mind. You got to get right with your soul. You got to get right with your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, your choices, your actions. You have to get right with all these things in order to solidify a win, the type of win that you're thinking of. God's win. God's win moves in humility and humbleness, grace and mercy. That's the type of win that God moves in. So if you're not moving in those characteristics, how are you going to get a win? Truly. Now you can have a manufactured win. Truly. You can have a manufactured win. You can have a bought win, a bought and paid for win. They're showing us that so evidently, just with Massey, right? And so it's one of those things. It's all about your perspective, the perspective you carry within yourself. But you have to get right with yourself in order to solidify a win. You got to start moving in God's timing and just flow with life. Understand that it's not. You have nothing to prove. Nothing to prove. Other than that you're a good person. And you mean well. And when you fail, you get back up. Right? Isn't that the whole point of living? It's so crazy to me. Sometimes what I see on my algorithms. You know, my brother was over last night. We had a nice conversation. We had us a little debate. About the fight. And we came to an agreement. I understood some of his perspectives and he understood some of mine. And it was a nice debate to have. You know, you're more than capable of having a conversation with someone that you maybe not see eye to eye, but you can still carry on the conversation and have an open mind in receiving their version or their vision of it. It might not be aligned to yours, but you can still be open to receive it. And it's just one of those things. It's one of those things. We're falling short of that. Everybody wants to be right. Everybody thinks they're right. Everybody thinks they have it all figured out. Shoot, I don't have it all figured out. I do not have it all figured out. And I'm not trying to have it all figured out. It's too, what's the word? It's too ingrained. It's too dark. I don't even have the desire to figure it out. I'm completely at peace with it. It's just one of those things, you know. What I do have figured out, allow me to share. This is what I do have figured out. All right. Get close. I have figured out that I understand how this system has operated. Okay. And I also understand that they provide extremely compelling stories. And they have the ability to shape narratives to bend to their knee. Okay. And they have the power structure behind them to conjure up certain said narratives and compelling stories to align with their lies. We're seeing that so evidently right now. Okay. And so because I have figured all of that out, I do also understand that when it comes to my family, when it comes to my ex, when it comes to my kid, that's a no holds bar. That's a no holds bar. I understand the system puts you in situations and it puts you in scenarios where you're only provided 25% of the truth. And you're then asked to tag into this, sign this dotted line, do this illusion, do this tactic. You'll get this payout. You'll get this bribe. Better yet, there's also another course of it where they maybe have dirt on you. They maybe have dirt on you from your past or whatever, right? Maybe you looked at certain things you shouldn't have. Maybe you partaked in certain things you shouldn't have, and they got that dirt on you. So then they also got you tagged in, right? So you also have to adhere to their wants and their ask. Otherwise, they're going to put you on blast. They're going to put you on blast. Believe me, I know how these people operate. Believe me, I do. I know how they operate behind the scenes. Behind the scenes, baby. Behind the scenes. All right? And they ask so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so to take care of it. They don't do it. You won't catch them doing it. They're going to have their flying monkeys do it. All right? They're going to send it from another account to another account. They're going to do it from this. Believe me. All right. Anything to relinquish their portion of being tagged into it. Okay. And this is how they operate. Right. And I understand that aspect of it. And it is soul sucking. It is soul sucking. And my heart goes out to every single individual tied into this, tied into it, that's being controlled and manipulated and used in ways to benefit the opposing side, to where the truth doesn't come out or whatever the case might be. And it breaks my heart because it all stems from the reality of what they provide to you in compelling stories and narrations. This is something that's been going on for years in reference to how you can manipulate a mind, how you can take control of the mind, how you can gain power over somebody based off the mechanics of the way that this system is built. That's why it's been built this way. That is exactly why it's been built this way, for power. And it's just one of those things. I guarantee you, if you got into a conversation with, say, six figures, millionaires, whatever, and they were truly honest with themselves in reference to what they've had to do to acquire said abundance and wealth in their businesses and things like that to get ahead, right? But this is how the system is built. Like, you can only get ahead if you tag into certain things. Now, I'm not saying it's not always the case, but more often than enough, it is. And it's a shame. It's a shame. We shouldn't have a system built on, for people to gain wealth and abundance, you have to let go of your integrity. You have to let go of your dignity. You have to let go of your ethics. You have to let go of your morals or your values to get ahead. That's not the system we should have built. But yet that's the system we have built. Why do you think that is? Because when you lose all those characteristics, they know they have you. They have the power over you. Where you're doing loop-de-loops in your mind. And you're walking around here, walking around your day-to-day, and you're feeling lost. You're feeling confused. You're upset. And then you pour out negativity. You don't pour out love because you're feeling all these things within yourself. You know, and I hope this video resonated. But yeah, it's all in God's timing. But you have to be moving and operating as close to God as possible. You just do. And you have to be grateful for the blessings that you have in your life every day, every minute of the day. There's people going through such harder situations. I mean, just look at what they did with Gaza. For no good reason. Just power.